Boom. Welcome to a story time with Almami Fatty. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Jazz. Say hi, Jazz. She has nothing to do with this story. She's just here chilling like a villain. But anyway, I'm filming this story time in bed. And I'm filming this story time in bed because I thought it would be kind of, original-ish, I guess. I haven't seen anybody do like a story time in bed in their pajamas and stuff, like story time. Gather around. But anyway, gather around. All right, so anyway, this story time is going to be about my first weed experience, and that would be last year around this time. So I guess it's kind of its anniversary. It's 1 year anniversary. And it's was this edible that I had gotten. I got this edible from Tasty Treats in New Orleans, Louisiana. Right? So I got it from Tasty Treats, but Tasty Treats gets like their edibles and stuff of that nature from D Edibles. And Tasty Treats is actually like a really good restaurant, like in New Orleans. I really do suggest that y'all go there, get you a plate, because their food is bomb. It is hits like a missile, period. But yeah, and if y'all want to try out either one of these places, I'm going to drop their Instagrams in the description below, so go ahead and check them out, please. But anyway, oh, and just to let y'all know, Tasty Treats is not like a dispensary or anything. Tasty Treats is really just a restaurant. Regular food, regular food. But yeah. So on to the story. So the edible that I had was a cookies and cream edible that I had purchased 2 weeks before I actually ate it. So the night that I decided to eat it, it was me and my friend Reese. I didn't know if I was gonna say her real name or if I was gonna make up a fake name for her. Y'all, I'm not gonna tell y'all whether it's real or fake. She'll know. So boom, we are at Xavier University, and I've decided that I'm gonna eat this edible. I think it was a Friday night. On a Friday night, and I was like, boom, I'm gonna eat this edible. I'm gonna go to the library and I'm gonna study, because everybody was like, oh, weed helps me concentrate, weed helps me do this, that, and the other. I can't do anything without weed. So I'm thinking, all right, bet, maybe I can. Let's see what it's hitting on. If I eat this edible, maybe my grades will improve or I'll do better studying. Let's see. So the edible was like literally like this big, but I only ate like a sliver of it because we shared it. So my piece was actually smaller than her piece because I had never had weed at all, period. But she had, so she was like, break me off. So I broke her off a piece and she ate it. So we go into the library and we're trying to study. Like, I'm on the student stuff. Like, I'm pulling out my homework and stuff. Homework sprawled out all around me. Didn't touch that homework at all. Sat there for 10 minutes waiting for it to hit. And eventually I got tired of waiting. I was like, man, I'm actually kind of hungry. So what I decided to do, I looked at Reese and I was like, we gotta go. Like, I'm hungry. We gotta go eat something to eat. So we go downstairs and get in my car and we drive to Popeyes. When I tell you guys, Popeyes hit like a missile. It hit. I ain't never had no Popeyes this good. Biscuit choking me out and everything. Like, I'm sitting here about to pass out because this biscuit trying to kill me. I'm scarfing it down, sipping my Fanta, like, all that. So, boom, we go up to, we drive back to school and sit in the parking lot. The parking lot is literally right across from her dorm room. So we're sitting in the parking lot, chilling, and we're both playing like our sex playlist, like we're exchanging the aux cord, all that. And so I'm in there, like, I'm feeling it, like, I'm feeling the music, like, we vibing, we just chilling, and I'm up in there, like, I'm really feeling it. I'm in that sex so good, make a grown woman crazy, sex so good, she wanna go half on the, like, I'm feeling it, like, every second of it, and it's amazing to me. Like, I'm like, why haven't I tried this before? What has been stopping me? Why did I listen to my parents? Like, all that, like, I'm just like, weed is amazing. Like, it was just amazing. So I'm talking to her. I'm like, yo, we have to do this like once a week, like just to relax and calm down and like bring it back. You know, we're gonna go buy an edible and we're just gonna chill in the car and listen to music. And so, you know, we sit in the car for like a good 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes are up. She's like, okay, let's just go up to my dorm room. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I turn off the car, I open my door, and I try to stand up. Y'all, when I tell you it was all downhill from there, it was all downhill from there. I'm looking up at the sky. The sky is rotating and turning and doing backflips, somersaults. Y'all could have told, bitch, I thought the fucking world was now a Olympic gymnast. Everything was doing all some new type shit. So I'm like, oh wait. So, granted, before this, like, I had been like scrolling through Instagram and stuff like that for weeks, and for some reason, I had been seeing a lot of, you know, messages and stuff about like the world being, like life being some big trip, and when we die, we wake up from our trip and stuff like that. So I'm in here, I'm looking at everything going wrong. Like, stuff is starting to repeat. Like, it's like, oh, I gotta go over here. Oh, I gotta go over here. Oh, I gotta go over here. Or like everything I'm doing, I'm having to repeat it and do it again. Like, I'm like stepping out of the car. And it's like, it's weird. Everything's just like, it's like glitching. And so I'm in my head, I'm thinking, damn, I fucked up my simulation. Like, this is like the Matrix when they're pulling people out of their simulations, and now you're figuring out what's real and what's not. It's feeling like, damn, I'm going to hell. Like, I'm dying, I'm dead, I'm in the grave. So boom, I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I want. So we tried to get me into the dorm room so I could lay down. But to get into the dorm room, we have to go into the building and we have to give the IDs to the lady at the front desk. So what we should have did is I should have gave her my ID beforehand, and she should have went to the front desk and gave them both our ID and then came and like ushered me to the elevator. But I tried to walk to the front desk. First of all, it took me like 10 minutes to get into the building. Like to walk like 20 steps to get to the building. And I threw my Popeyes box away because there's a garbage can right there. So anyway, I ran into the door like 3 times trying to get in. Once I finally got in, I walked to the front desk and knocked all the IDs off the desk. Like, every last ID is just knocked off the desk. And so I'm like, the lady's like, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you on? Da, 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 da. So she kicks us out. Well, she didn't kick her out. She kicked me out. And so I have to go back to my car. It took another 10 minutes to get to my car. I'm just like, I'm tripping. Like, I'm trying to talk. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm stumbling. Like, I'm over here. Everybody's like, what? People are watching me. Like, I'm just so embarrassed. So I get to my car. And I'm sitting in my car. I'm sitting on the driver's side of my car. She's sitting she's standing in the doorway. And she's just like, never again. You're never again having weed. Da 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 da. She's like, this is unacceptable. Like, you're tripping. All that. So the lady at the front desk called the Xavier police on me. So the Xavier police finally come. And they're like, so what's going on over here? And I'm trying to explain what's going on, and I'm trying to say like, I'm okay, like, we're fine, da 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 da. They go over to Reese and they're like, are you okay? Did he hurt you? Did he hit you? I'm like, did I what? Like, this is my friend here. Like, what are you talking about? I would never hurt her. So eventually they convinced me that I've hit her or something like that. So I'm like, Reese, did I hit you? Did I hit you? And she's like, no, like, you didn't hit me, like, chill out. And I'm over here like, I hit her. I hit my friend. Like, I'm tripping. Like, I'm gone. And so I'm just gone. I'm gone off the shits. So anyway, we go to the they're like, can I see your ID or whatever? And I'm like, all right, bet. So I pull out my wallet because that's, at this point, that's the only thing I have. I can't find my phone and I cannot find my keys. They're missing. They're MIA. I don't know where I put them. So I'm trying to give him my ID and I drop the ID. I'm like, I'm trying to pick my ID up and just, it's on the floor. And then eventually the female police officer that's with him just gets fed up and she's like, I'll get it. So she picks it up and she's like, is there anything in your car that we need to be worried about? Like a gun or something like that. I'm like, no, like, I'm not a violent person. I'm just, you know, I'm going through a bad, like, this is not okay, like something's going on. But anyway, so she's like, do we need to call you an ambulance? Da 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 da. I'm like, I don't know what to say. So eventually I'm like, yeah, I think I need an ambulance. Like, cause when I tell y'all, shit was wild. Shit was wild. Everything was just wild. Like, I was just gone. And so the ambulance finally gets there and they get me into the ambulance. The ambulance people are like, what did you take? What did you take? I'm like, I had an edible. It was a small piece. I didn't know it was going to be like this. The piece that I had was literally so small. And I'm so ashamed. But she was like, they were like, what else did you have? That couldn't have been all. I was like, that's it, I promise. And so they're driving me to the hospital. I eventually fall asleep. So when we get to the hospital, like, when I tell you guys, I fucking hate my nurse. I fucking hate my nurse. This nurse was a fucking bitch. So I'm in the hospital and she wakes me up. Now, granted, like, she wakes me up the first time nicely. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, what did you have? I was like, all I had was an edible. Like, that's it. You know, just the edible. And she's like, oh, that can't be it. Like, did you mix it with medicine or anything like that? I'm like, no, just the edible. Like, I haven't had anything else. Like, I had Popeyes, that's it. The edible and Popeyes. Like, and so she's like, that can't be it. Everybody's swearing up and down that I'm lying. I'm like, no, I'm not lying. So eventually I get tired of answering the same question. And I pretend to be asleep to avoid having to answer the question. So while I'm pretending to be asleep, this lady is like on my chest, like rubbing her knuckles across my chest, like, wake up, wake up. When I tell y'all I wanted to fight her, I wanted to fight her. Like, she was so disrespectful. She's in here pinching me, rubbing her knuckles on my chest, like my chest is a xylophone all of a sudden. I'm like, chill. But I did not open my eyes. So eventually they're like, Mr. Fatty, if you don't wake up, we're gonna have to stick a catheter in you to see what you had. And I'm in here, I'm not waking up. My family has now arrived. Like, my uncle comes in, my godfather comes in, his wife comes in. They're like, Yogi, you need to wake up. Like, you need to get up. Like, come on. Like, they need to know what you had. Da 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 da. I'm still playing sleep. I'm not waking up for nothing because I don't have my lie together. I don't know what I'm going to say. None of that. So I'm just like... So, eventually they come in with the catheter. Y'all, that shit hurt like fuck. I'm laying down in the bed and, like, my whole body tenses up. Like, you know how in the movies and shit, when they do an exorcist and homegirl body, like, she's strapped to the bed and her, the rest of her body's, like, floating or levitating and stuff. When I tell y'all that's how I looked, that's how I looked. Because they had stuck a catheter in me and that shit hurt. Like, my whole body tensed up. But I did not open my eyes. I did not. I played sleep that entire time. And to this day, I still believe that my doctors and nurses and stuff thought I was still asleep. Nah. But after they left with the catheter, my godfather's wife decided she wanted to crack jokes. She is in here cracking all the good jokes. I bust out laughing. Like, I'm laughing so hard. Like, I'm tears in my eyes and everything. I'm just deceased. This shit's funny as fuck. And she was like, I knew you wasn't asleep. I knew you wasn't asleep. I was like, okay, you couldn't let me play sleep for a little bit longer. And they were like, no, because your parents were on their way out here. Like, they were looking at flights and stuff. They were coming to come see about you because the doctors told them that you were non-responsive. I'm like, non-responsive? Like, I was dead? The doctors told them I was dead, basically? And they were like, basically, and your parents were on their way. I was like, well, it's a good thing I woke up now. Like, somebody please call them and let them know I'm okay. And so they called my parents. At this point, my parents have already went through like my call log, my call history and stuff on my phone. Not even on my phone, through AT&T. And AT&T had given them like people's numbers and stuff. They had already, like, they had called people like, hey, were you with him? Were you with them? Were you with them? And finally got in touch with Reese. And Reese was like, yeah, he had an edible, and he, that's all he had, and basically just explained to them the entire story. And so I'm just like, oh wow, I'm dead. And so basically I was just like, damn, I'm dead. And so we go back to the school because we used to find my iPhone to try to figure out where my phone was. And it was saying that my phone was like in the dorms, like really close to the door. So I'm thinking it's like on the first floor or something like that. So I go in there and I talk to the lady at the front desk, like, is my phone here? She says no. They said, but you can't come back in here, like, you're banned. I'm like, oh, I'm banned. She's like, yes, you're banned until you talk to the lady who's over like the housing and stuff like that. So I'm still looking for my phone, and now everybody remember, well, y'all probably don't, but remember when I had Popeyes and I threw my Popeyes box away? Y'all, I threw my phone and my keys away with the Popeyes box. And so I'm in paper clothes from the hospital, going through the garbage to get my phone and my keys so that I can bring my car back home and so I can get into my house, because my phone is my key to my front door. So it was really embarrassing. So I ended up telling all the like administration on campus and stuff that I had an allergic reaction to my allergy medicine, and it caused me to hallucinate and stuff. They all bought it. They all believed it. At least I think they did. I didn't get in any trouble about it or anything. So that was a plus. So yeah. That was my first experience with, oh, and when I finally did get into my car, like, my car was a mess. Like, I had torn it up. Like, there was trash everywhere. Like, I had this gift that I had got my ex, because my ex had been going through a really tough time at the moment. Like, it was all color coordinated to be red, and it had like a card in it saying everything's gonna be okay. It had a Bible verse in it and everything. I had torn it to shreds, like torn it completely up. It was all over my car, like lifesavers all over the car. The brisk just rolling behind the seat and everything, like just torn to shreds. But yeah, that was my first weed experience with an edible, and my first ambulance ride. And let's just say it wasn't my last. But yeah. Thank you guys for listening. You know, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to try to do weekly videos. Sometimes I'll do 2 videos in 1 week. We're gonna have to see, play it by ear. But y'all wanna, y'all wanna know. But yeah. I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, share it with a friend. Let them enjoy in the laughter and the good times. But y'all have a nice one. Talk to y'all later. See y'all again.